Yo, what up, man? I'm doing something today that I don't usually do. Typically, I'm OCD about matching my watch straps to my shoes. Today, I'm actually complementing my outfit with my watch strap. I'm wearing dark brown suede loafers, but I'm wearing a green strap, as you can see. I think that green and brown is an awesome combination. I'm wearing a brown jacket, I'm wearing brown shoes, and I'm wearing a green strap. I am getting a pair of green shoes made, and that's the reason why I got the strap made. They're not here yet. They got delayed a little bit, but they're pretty close to being done, and I should be getting them in the next couple weeks. Number two, last week, I just started selling my own Chase and Rider straps. The website is still under construction, but you can still go on there. I'm going to include a link in the description so you can see exactly what I'm offering. Right now, it's in the pre-order stage. We're taking pre-orders until the end of June, and then we're going to get the straps made, which is going to take approximately 4 weeks. So I'll say the first week of August is when you can expect the strap to start being delivered to their owners. But yeah, this is the Green Lizard. It's a beautiful strap. I've been wearing it all week, and yeah, man. Intro. You should come rolling my shit. Yo, what up? My name is Vladimir Riché from ChaseandRider.com. In today's video, we're going to unbox what is probably my favorite pair of shoes. And I'm not just saying that because this is just the latest shoes that I'm unboxing. These shoes here really are my favorite pair of shoes, man. I have an infatuation with grained shoes now. Just a little bit of background about me. My favorite shoes are suede shoes. But now I think it's safe to say that suede shoes and grained shoes are neck to neck. But it's not just grain shoes, it's grain Oxfords. Like, I've always liked grain shoes, but more in a casual way. I have around 6 pairs of Split-toe derbies in grain leather, but this pair is my first Oxfords in a grain leather. Between the fit and the way that these shoes look, I really think that those are my favorite pair of shoes. I haven't worn them yet, and it's probably going to be a couple months before I wear them, and we'll get into the reason a little bit later. But I'm dying to show you this pair, so let's get into it. As it says on the box, this pair is from Blazing Wonders Shoemaker, which is a brand out of China, Shanghai to be exact. And if you are wondering how come I've been unboxing so many shoes from China, I'm a big fan of what they're doing over there in China. There have been so many different shoe brands coming out of that country, and right now I would put Blazing Wonders right around the top of the list. Blazing Wonders is actually not just a shoe brand, but they actually have their own factory, so they do make shoes for other brands as well. One thing that could be a little bit confusing is that they go by a couple different names. If you were to check their Instagram, it says BW Shoes Factory. Obviously the BW stands for Blazing Wonders, but when you click on there, it actually says Helen Shoemaker. That's just another name for Blazing Wonders. So Blazing Wonders, Helen Shoemaker is the same company. They've been around for about a dozen years, and they produce an excellent product. Originally, they only used to service the Chinese market, but recently they've opened it up to everybody, but they're still in the infancy stage as far as that's concerned, and we'll get more into that as we go to the unboxing. But as I was saying, I'm really into grained Oxfords, and this pair here is really something special, man. So let's get to the unboxing so you can see what I'm talking about. So the first thing that you'll notice is that the shoes come in a burgundy box. On the box, it has the logo, which is the silhouette of a shoe, but it's made out of the letters Blazing Wonders. And then right under the shoe, it does have the words Blazing Wonders Shoemaker in silver. Let's open the box. Now inside the box also has the same thing as the top of the box, so the logo and the name. But this is the first pair of shoes I think that I have this kind of box where the top doesn't come off. It just stays just like this when you open the box, which is pretty cool. The shoes come in white shoe bags, 2 of them. And they also send you a pretty good quality shoehorn. Alright, let's take the shoes out the bag. And these are the shoes right here, man. Let me zoom in a little bit on it. So as I was saying, currently, these are my favorite shoes, and you can see why. So the style of the shoe is an Adelaide with a peak heel counter, which happens to be my favorite style of shoes. I think this is the style that I probably have the most of outside of the Split-toe derby. And when it comes to dress shoes, this is definitely my favorite style to have. One brand that had made this style very popular is Gaziano and Girling. They have the St. James 2. It was one of the shoes that made me fall in love with shoes. Just that design. I've always been into footwear, starting with sneakers. But when I started to get into menswear, looking at pictures of the St. James 2 is what really made me fall in love with dress shoes. So since then, I have a few pairs made in that configuration, and this pair here is just another one that's added to the collection, and I have another one coming in that same configuration as well from another maker. My green shoes actually that I was just talking about in the beginning. The shoes are made in a Utah grain leather. If you're familiar with the channel, recently I've unboxed a pair of split toe derbies from Sons of Henry, also made in a Utah grain leather. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link it somewhere up here. I'll also include it in the description. Now, as far as the leather, they get them from the same exact place that most of these makers get their leathers from. We're talking about Bonato in Italy, Haas and Factory Danone in France, CF Stead from England, Horwin from Chicago in the United States, Weinheimer in Germany, and the list goes on. I've had a guy in the comments recently saying he doesn't buy shoes from China because they use dog leather. I was just kind of thinking would stop, but obviously we're not there yet. It is what it is, man. You don't have to get your shoes from China, but I will. You know what I mean? Anyway, back to the shoes. They are made in a soft square last. A soft square last and an almond shaped last are two of my favorite lasts. I go back and forth on which one is my favorite. Personally, I think that an Adelaide looks better in a soft square last than it does in any other kind of last. And this one actually proves my point, because this is definitely a beautiful pair of shoes. Beautiful shape, beautiful balance. This is Blazing Wonders Z last. They have a ton of lasts to choose from, but this is one of the most popular ones. To show you the sole, this one has a fiddleback waist, which is extremely sexy. And I also have the Triumph metal toe taps. Now let's get more specific about Blazing Wonders. All their shoes are hand welted and hand lasted, but they do have two different lines. They have the regular line, which is what these shoes are, and they also have a premium line, and I'll be telling you the difference between the two lines. So first, let's start with the regular line, since this is what we have here. As I was saying, across both lines, the shoes are hand welted and hand lasted. And also for both lines, you can select whether you want to have a fiddleback waist or you want to have a beveled waist. Once again, I went with a fiddleback waist on mine. The base price for Blazing Wonders shoes currently is right under $500, and the reason why I'm saying currently is because it's based on the Chinese yen. So the base price for their shoes is CNY 3500, which at the time of this video is $491, and the base price for their boots is CNY 4000, which at the time of recording is $561. So keep in mind that those can fluctuate because once again it's based on the exchange rate, but at this time $491 for a shoe that's hand welted and hand lasted. A couple other features for their regular line. The outsole is stitched by hand and by machine, so it's a combination of the two. The regular line also use real leather heel stiffener, but the toe stiffener is made as some kind of chemical. My guess is it's probably some kind of thermoplastic, but I'm not 100% sure. And also the turnaround time for the regular line is 30 days. Now let's talk about their premium line. Everything that I mentioned about the regular line, except both the heel and the toe stiffener use real leather, and also the outsole is fully stitched by hand. Unlike the regular line where it's a combination of machine and hand, this one is fully handmade. And the delivery time is 45 days as opposed to 30 days. Those retail at CNY 5000 for their shoes, which currently is $702. And their boots on the premium line is CNY 5500, which at the time of recording is $772. Now there are a few extra things to keep in mind. So for example, my shoes, being that it's using the Utah grain leather, that's an upcharge of CNY 300, which equals to $42. And that's the same thing if you also chose a museum calf leather. It comes with the same upcharge of the CNY 300. That's $42. Also, my shoes come with lasted shoe trees, and that's CNY 400. Currently, that's $56, which is an excellent price when you're talking about lasted shoe trees. Typically, you can expect to pay around $100 for lasted shoe trees, but for them, it's only $56 at this time. And as you can see, the lasted shoe trees are the same exact shape as the Z Last, which is, once again, they're soft square. And once again, I have the metal toe taps on my shoes, which is an upcharge of CNY 300. Once again, that's $42 at this time. You can also have your initials on the sole, which is also CNY 300. They have a ton of options, man. They also have JR soles, which is CNY 400. So with those extras, my shoe will cost $631 as opposed to the base price of $491. Now, speaking of, I did not pay for this pair. Blazing Wonders sent me this pair for free so that I can introduce them to you guys. But everything that you're hearing is strictly my thoughts, and they don't get together in condensed copy to see exactly what I'm going to be talking about. So at the time that you guys are watching this video, they're watching it for the first time as well. A couple more things about the shoes. The lining is a dark gray, which I really like. And the waist is very, very slim. So if you're looking at the shoes from above, the waist definitely disappears under the shoes. This is a really beautiful pair of shoes. I always worry every time I get my shoes online that they're not going to fit well. And I must report that this pair fits me great. It's very snug, which I like because eventually it's going to loosen up a little bit. But I'd rather my shoes be snug than loose. So these are a great fit for me. And one thing about Utah grain leather, which I mentioned in my last review, is that they are very soft leather. And as I was saying before, I'm probably not going to be wearing them for a couple months. One thing about grain leather, I like them a lot better with heavier clothing. So I think that they're a perfect match for your flannels, your corduroys, and those type of fabrics. I don't really love them with lightweight fabric or all year round fabric. That's just me, but when I look at grain leather, it reminds me of the fall and winter for whatever reason. I'm probably not going to be wearing these until late September, early October time frame, if I can help it, because these shoes here are great, so I don't know if I'll be able to wait that long. Now, a couple things about the brand itself. As I was saying, they're still in the infancy stage as far as opening up their shoes to the public worldwide. With that said, they don't have a website, so in order for you to order your pair of Blazing Wonders, you have to contact them through Instagram. But I've never had any problem with communication. They've always been very responsive, assuming the time difference, because once again, they are based out of China. The way that you pick your shoes is by going through their Instagram and see which one you like. A great thing about them is they've been posting pictures of shoes for a while, so their catalog is huge. But if you don't find what you like, you can always send them a picture of what you're looking to get made. If they don't already have it on Instagram, there's a chance that they still have it, they just haven't posted it. But let's say you want to get a pair of shoes made that they've never done before, it's just going to cost you an extra $70, which is CNY 500. But once again, please keep the conversion rate in mind. I'm just telling you the numbers for right now. The way that I was able to pick my pair is just by going to the Instagram and they had the same exact pair. I was like, say less. This is exactly what I'm looking for. So they were able to make me the same exact shoes that they had already made for somebody else, with some slight differences like the last, for example. But I feel like quality wise, this is one of the best pair of shoes in my collection without a doubt. And this is just their regular line. So I'm very curious to see what their premium line looks like. So the next pair I get from them, I'm going to try the premium line. But once again, this is definitely a beautiful execution, man. Such a nice pair of shoes. The grain leather is wonderful. Once again, I'm familiar already with the Utah grain leather. It's known for its suppleness, and having it made in an Oxford is something that I'm definitely looking forward to wear. Let's say I had a presentation to make on somebody's stage where I had to really make a great first impression. I think that this pair is probably what I would pull out. This is such a beautiful pair of shoes, man. I don't think you guys understand. The thing is, I have a lot of shoes, so for me to say this is my favorite, it's not something that I say too often because there are so many of them. And I like them more because I wouldn't have them otherwise. But the combination of the color, dark brown is a very versatile color. You can wear it with anything. The style, the Adelaide, as I was saying, the Adelaide is my favorite style of shoe. The grain leather, which is my new addiction when it comes to Oxfords. And last but not least, the soft square last, which is excellent on a pair of Adelaide shoes, or any shoe for that matter. Now, one thing I forgot to mention, the shipping is around $100 to the US. Couple things that I would change. A, I would lower the shipping, and B, obviously I would have a website to make things a little bit easier. But I know that they're working on the website, so definitely be on the lookout for that. But I wouldn't wait for that to really make a decision. These shoes are so great, and once again, they are very responsive on Instagram, so I would definitely reach out to them there. Now, when you reach out to them, do mention my name, because they are offering all my viewers 5% off their shoes. Now, I know that 5% is not a ton of money. When you're talking about shoes, using mine for example, that costs over $600, but that's a saving of about $30, which is better than nothing. Once again, the Instagram is BW Shoes Factory. I'm also going to include a link in the description. But Blazing Wonders is a great brand, and I can promise you this will not be my last pair of shoes from them. I'm extremely satisfied with the shoes, and I can't wait to start wearing them. And if you're wondering which watch strap I'm going to be wearing with these, it's going to be the dark brown alligator. As you can see, it's a pretty close match. Even though the Utah grain leather is darker, they don't have to be the perfect match because it's not like your wrist is going to be next to your feet. But I do like them to be pretty close. Dark brown lizard and dark brown crocodile will also be a great match. Once again, I will have these straps available at my store, but you can pre-order them now. So this was the unboxing of my latest pair of shoes, which comes from Blazing Wonders. The style is in Adelaide with a pig heel counter right here. The leather is a dark brown Utah grain leather. The last is a soft square last, which is their Z last. And currently this pair is in my top 2 or top 3 shoes that I own. And that's really saying something because I do have a few pair of shoes. So I love these shoes. I'm really looking forward to wearing them. And let me know in the comments how you feel about them. And ask me any questions. I'll be more than happy to answer them. So hit the thumbs up if you like this video. Subscribe, or everybody gonna think that you're a hater. And I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.